How's it going, y'all? Welcome to Out of the Groove. My name is Eric, and this week I am joined once again by NASCAR Xfinity Series driver Jeremy Clements. Jeremy, it's great to have you on. Haven't been on the show since last fall, I think. So, how have you been, man? It's great to see you.
I'm doing great, Eric. Thanks for having me on the show, man. A lot of people love what you do, and they always come up to me now and say, "Man, Eric, on Out of the Groove was on your car. That's pretty cool." So, I mean, you must be doing something right.
I think you're the one who's making the logo look good on track. So, no, that's awesome. I appreciate you being on the show. And it's great to once again be involved with the team this weekend at Martinsville. I want to jump into that, just jump right into Martinsville here. What makes this track that we're racing at Friday night, what makes that track stand out to you?
Well, it's short track racing at its finest. You get to see a lot of beating and banging. You get to see tempers flare. We're going to be under the lights. Obviously, Dale Jr.'s in the race, so if we get near him, we'll be on TV. And I told him last time I walked by him on pit road doing a broadcast that I might have to beat your back bumper off to get on TV and get on the Dale Jr. download as well. So I'll do whatever it takes to do all that. So it'll be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. We've, of course, got First Pacific funding on the car. We got Out of the Groove, the Racing Warehouse, 3030 Coffee, Whitetail Smokeless, Fox Sports Spartanburg. I mean, the list goes on and on, man. So it's really cool. A bunch of supporters will be there. You'll be there for your first time. Can't wait to show you around and see Martinsville at its finest.
Oh, I'm super excited. I have to know one thing. Everyone tells me the Martinsville Hot Dogs obviously are the staple, they're the big thing, but are they as good as they're hyped up to be?
Well, I mean, they're pretty good. I mean, I don't want to, they're good. I don't want to badmouth them at all. Like, they're pretty decent. How about that? I want you to eat one and you tell the viewers what you think. I don't want to, persuade you any way. So we should try to eat one together. How about that? That would be probably
like
pretty cool.
Lady and the Trampet. I don't know. Maybe that's the best way to do it, but I like the side of that. Well, let's talk about your season. I know it hasn't been the start to the season that you were maybe hoping for, but you're fresh off a playoff appearance last year. This year's been kind of rough. You've been caught up in some other drivers' messes we can talk about later. But overall, how would you assess where the 51 team is at this point?
Well, it's been a rough season, to be honest. It hasn't gone the way we wanted it to. Getting caught up in two wrecks that just weren't my fault, to be honest. We had the fastest lap of both those races, was going to wind up very good at both of them, I'm sure. And then, we had a top 5 run going at Coda. Got black flagged a couple laps to go with the rule with the cutting the track or something, which I think still not the best call. It was a judgment call, and we're talking inches maybe. It's not like I just blew a corner and passed a guy, and I'd be like, well, I did cheat then, but that sucks. That hurt, and I think. Besides that, our best finish is 11th, so we've got a hole to dig out of pretty badly, and all we can do is keep fighting and trying to make it better. But the Xfinity Series is stout this year, a lot of good competition, and when you get a top 10 in this series and you're a small team, you've done something. So we'll just keep fighting, and I feel like last time we were at Martinsville, we finished 9th. So we need to just go there and win, and that's what we need to do and put Out of the Groove in victory lane.
I'd love to see it. No complaints from me. But kind of on that note, you just mentioned the Xfinity Series is really competitive this year. It feels like every week when I look at the entry list, there's 42, 43, 44 cars showing up every week. And I know you wear multiple hats over at Jeremy Clements Racing. So from your perspective, why do you think the series is so competitive? Is it because parts and pieces are just more available right now? Or is there a different reason you think there are so many competitive teams showing up every week?
A lot of teams just stepped up their game. A lot of lease engines out there from ECR, Roush Yates, TRD, Joe Gibbs Racing. Just a lot of good equipment. A lot of sponsors that have come in the sport. A lot of teams seem to be more funded than ever, and they're spending the money to run better and buy all the good parts and pieces. And then you've got some teams, like the Our Motorsports. They expanded to 3. Obviously, Junior Motorsports, they got 4 to 5 teams depending on the weekend. Joe Gibbs Racing 3. The list goes on and on. RCR's got 2. Colleague. Man, there's a lot of good teams, a lot of money out there this season somehow. I'm not sure just kind of the way it all came about really this year, but going into this season, I knew it was going to be this stout, but I still feel good about our chances of making our season better, and we're going to keep fighting.
Well, I also have to ask, obviously this season got off to kind of a rough start, but at Daytona earlier this year, you were caught up in a wreck when Drew Dollar got loose and crashed into the outside wall. And I know you then criticized, drivers who buy their rides, maybe you shouldn't be racing out there. And I think many fans would agree with you that they would like to see the most talented drivers rewarded with the best opportunities. But do you think that'll ever become the norm, or will there always be a lot of drivers out there that just get where they are because mainly the connections they have?
No, unfortunately, this is a money-driven sport, so you're going to have a lot of drivers that pay for these rides that are top-notch. I'd give anything to drive a Joe Gibbs Racing car, and those are the best in the series. About one of the best in the series. So. A guy like that getting that opportunity, it is what it is. But you got a lot of these guys paying for it that don't necessarily deserve it yet. He probably needs to go back and get some experience in another series before he's in this one, where the competition level and the drivers are just a lot better than what he's used to. So that's what I meant by that, and I still stand by it, to be honest.
Is that how challenging is that? Because when you're in racing in the Xfinity Series, you're a veteran and you also obviously have a stake in the team. You own the team. You're racing around veteran drivers who've been around a while. You're racing around championship level equipment, back of the field level equipment, 18-year-olds, 45-year-olds. How challenging is that to race in the Xfinity Series? Are you conscious of who you're racing around, and does that significantly affect the way you drive?
It definitely changes year to year. The first few races this year, I didn't know who was driving what car half the time. That changes all the time. But once you get in a rhythm and you get guys, and you can see that name on the back glass, you kind of know who you're dealing with. But, yeah, we've got, like you just said, a mix of veterans like Allmendinger, myself, Ryan Sieg, guys like that have been around a while that you can trust, Justin Allgaier, Landon Castle. The list goes on. A lot of good drivers that I can race door to door with and that I trust. Then you got a lot of these rookies coming in that just doesn't have a lot of experience, and the only way they can get it is to be out there. So I can't really get on them too bad. I just hate when things like that happen, and of course I get taken out of. I'm going to be upset about it because we spent a lot of money and time and effort to make that 51 go fast, and got taken out so early. But man, I think the Xfinity Series is as healthy as it's ever been, and a lot of great drivers, a lot of great teams. But I want us to put that 51 in Victory Lane, get First Pacific Funding, All South Electric victory. We got so many cool partners, and we want to do good for them.
Well, you've been racing for your own team for a while. You've won a race, you've made the playoffs, but it's got to be a grind week in, week out. So what gets you out of bed every day? What motivates you and your team to compete at the track every weekend? What drives you guys?
Man, I tell you what, Eric, I swear this deal gets harder and harder to keep up. From getting people to work to paying for all this to making it better and better. We're not just trying to be there. We're trying to make it a race-winning team as we go. So I don't know, man. I'm just driven. The fire's still burning down within deep. I want to win races. I want to do good. Every week I feel good about the opportunity I'm given. And that's kind of what drives me. I've raced my whole life, and this has been my dream since I was a kid. So I definitely want to keep working at it, because this can be gone at any time, in my opinion. It can go away quickly, just as quickly as it started.
Well, definitely one of the teams that are easiest to root for in the garage, for sure. It's been fun to watch. And looking ahead to the rest of this season, what races or dates do you have circled on your calendar that you and your team are most looking forward to?
Well, this weekend for sure at Martinsville. I'm excited about that. Last time I said we had top 10 there, ran really good in the top 5. And yeah, I'm very excited for that. So I'd say that one. And then I'd say we had such a great run at COTA. We got all the kinks worked out on our road course car. I'm really looking forward to going to the next road course, which is Portland, Oregon. We've never been there. Done a little sim time on that track. I feel good about it. I feel good about what kind of car we'll be taking. And going into a wild card race like that, nobody's been there. I feel like that could be our shot to win. Why not? So if we can just survive, that turn 1 and 2 is going to be a doozy for sure. I don't know if you've seen it. Wow, it's tight. And if we just don't get taken out in that, we'll be fine. But then I'd say Road America, July 4th weekend. That'll be a great one. I love racing there. We won there, like you said earlier. And then another one is Bristol. I love Bristol. I wish we raced there twice. I'm so mad that we don't. It got taken away from us, and now it's a dirt track for some reason. I don't know why. I love dirt racing, though, but I don't think it should be a dirt track. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to going to those races, top of my head.
Sweet. Yeah, a lot of fun ones. Certainly looking forward to all those as well. But I'm also looking forward, like you said, to this Friday night's NASCAR Xfinity Series race at Martinsville. The Call 811 Before You Dig 250 goes green at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time on FS1. Best of luck, Jeremy. Thank you so much for being on the show once again, and go get them this weekend.
Eric, thanks so much for having me, buddy, and can't wait to see you in a couple days.